Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. Honest services, fair prices, dozens of five-star Google reviews, easy financing, and lifetime warranties. If that sounds too good to be true, it isn't. Visit danielhoodroofing.com and you can read testimonial after testimonial after testimonial from your neighbors who have turned to Daniel and his team to put new roofs on their homes. You can too. Visit them online or give them a call today. Daniel Hood Roofing. All right, joined by John Wilkerson, longtime radio presence in this town. You've done a little bit of everything. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for coming in here. I was glad to see UT played a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series so we could drag you in here. So congratulations on the Vols winning yesterday as well.
That was big. Needed to get one before heading home, and they did.
Yeah, I was afraid if they lost, you'd said, I'm not coming in.
That's right.
Thanks
I'm sorry. I have to wash my hair.
You guys brought an end to SportsTalk on Friday after 25 years. Got together in 1998. That is an unbelievable run. I don't know if people understand 25 years in anything is a long run. In this industry, things change. People move. Bosses change. They have whims. It's like, I don't like the way these two sound together. We're going to put you here and you here. 25 years that's a juggernaut that I don't know that anybody in East Tennessee is ever going to hear that again. Two guys doing the same show. What was the key? What was the key to not killing one another, to surviving 25 years, in your opinion?
I think we each have our own strengths, and I think we bring different things to the table, and I think that's what made it work. I mean, while we have very similar thought processes and we have mostly the same likes and dislikes, I just think that there's enough that is unique about each one of us that it was a very, very good mix.
I think a big part of it was when I woke up every morning, I look forward to going to work. If you don't want to go to work every day, I think it's a lot harder to do it, but I enjoyed it, and it was fun to put a show together every day. It could be topics, it could be guests, whatever it was was fun. It was like filling out a baseball lineup. Okay, this is what we're going to do, here's our lineup today, and every day I enjoyed that process.
Well, and it was a unique show in that you came over from newspaper. So you weren't a radio guy. Now you had done you'd done radio hits, you'd done TV hits. We had done TV stuff together as far back as '95, but you had never been a day-to-day radio guy. You are the consummate radio guy. You've done DJ, morning show sports guy, play-by-play, Vol Network host, the longest ever Vol Network host. You're Mr. Radio. You didn't have the radio stuff. You had the reporting chops. It was a really good mix of the two of you. How long did it take? You knew each other, but there's always a feeling out process, a period of, okay, our show will work like this. Did you put it together and then say, yeah, that's it. It'll be what we did on day one is what we're going to do for the next 25 years? Or did you get into it a month and say, let's tweak this, let's tweak that? How much of a process was it?
Well, from John's perspective, his mindset was no child left behind. So it was like I was the one that had to learn the business. I really didn't know all of what I was getting into. I had a bit of an idea, but to do a four-hour show every day, 5 days a week for 25 years, but I thought we clicked pretty fast, almost right off the bat, because we both have a passion and interest in sports. And he's got a great knowledge of sports. I try to keep up with it. I think that's what helped us along the way. So I think our chemistry was pretty good early. I don't think it was a long process to develop that.
And I do think that I'm so thankful, and there are things that I still use today and encouragements that I will still use tomorrow in terms of how you approach finding out more about things, the best way to present things from this gentleman, simply for the fact that I'll never forget there was one instance where I was just listening to some hyperbole on a national show, and I thought, I'll trot this out as my own. And that was, man, you could take Duke's second string and they could be a top 5 team. Right. First question from him, who's going to be your point guard? And it's like, whoops. so rather than just put out something that you thought might be a little close to cutting edge, it was kind of like, you'd better be ready to defend what you are presenting. And so the fact that there's information that if I don't share it, then our listeners don't have it, something as simple as, and something that I still need a little nudge every now and then today, is just because I'm familiar with someone doesn't mean that the audience is familiar with somebody. So if I use somebody's first name, I need to follow with their last name for those that aren't on the same page.
The 4 hour a day thing, and we'll talk about what you're going to be changing roles. You're at least shaving an hour off. 4 hours. What I do is a challenge because we got 90 minutes. And it used to just be an hour. We got 90 minutes to figure out all the things that just happened this past week that I think are big and we got to get in here, and all the things that I want to set the table for the week to come. And I got to weed that down and squeeze it in. That's not easy. That is nothing compared to we've got to fill 20 hours this week. I would have offed myself long ago if I had to deal with that grind. So as somebody who produces, I salute you for that level of work. There had to be times, middle of summer, where that is an unreal grind.
Yes.
Not much of a question.
No
there,
question.
Yes.
And I would try to go into every show as if we were never going to have a caller or we would never have a guest. So you'd have to pile up all this material for topics and whatever you're going to do. And so, there were a couple of times in the summer where it was a stretch to be able to do a 4 hour show. And that was a challenge. And one of my pet peeves that I didn't like that I used to hear from people is that, well, I'll say that on the radio, but I won't write it. Oh, no, wait a minute. So it's like, well, you can do anything on radio that doesn't have credibility, but the newspaper does. And I was a newspaper guy. Don't give me that bull. If you're willing to say it, you should be willing to write it.
Right.
I really didn't like some folks that said that, including some of my former good friends.
Gentlemen, I tell you what, hang out here. I want to talk a little bit when we come back about some of your best moments or funniest moments. We'll see what we can get to. Best moments, funniest moments. I mean, look, we've all had shows that have gone sideways. Are there any that you can look back on now and laugh? And we'll bring Bob Hodge back out here because Bob knows these guys very well, worked with Jimmy back at the newspaper before radio. So come on back on the Sports Source. We'll continue this next.